Hello, I'm Deborah Henson-Conant, also known as Deborah Henson-Conant, also known as DHC, and I was just on here a second ago with no sound. So if anyone is here and listening right now, I know a lot of you will be watching this via replay because it's the middle of the night, but if you're here and hearing, can you let me know if you are hearing me? And thank you, Carrie, for letting me know that you weren't hearing me before. Hello. Hello, I am Deborah Henson-Conant, also known as Deborah Henson-Conant, also known as DHC. I am a composer, and I am a performer, and I also coach and teach and mentor harpists like you maybe, or someone you love, or someone you know, to be able to express yourself with music. Let's see. Oh, you're hearing me. Great. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. This is the eve of Black Friday, and I am here tonight and today to tell you all about my Black Friday sale and to tell you about the classes that are in it and why I created them and what you will learn and what I love about them. Before I begin, I want to tell you why I created Hip Harp Academy, why I started teaching other harp players how to do what I spent my life learning how to do. And the main reason was because people would come to me wanting to learn how to play jazz. And I realized that they didn't have the fundamentals of kind of the building blocks that they needed before they even began to add the jazz styling. And I grew up improvising and learning about the forms and the ways that you improvise, not just in music, but in dance and in theater, all different kinds of improvisation, and learning how they, are similar and how they're different. And so I realized that if I could create the classes in the fundamentals, then harpists would be able to go on to jazz, or they could use it for meditation music or at bedside. In fact, I use these same principles. The very first recording that I ever made was with this wonderful flute player named Shockey Roth. And it was one of the first meditation tapes that was out there. I think it was called You Are the Ocean. And I don't know, there were a bunch of them. I use the same principles for that, the same fundamental principles as I use in jazz. So I made the classes in the Hip Harp Academy to start teaching those fundamentals. Now let's see, you guys are talking. I love it. Oh, great. So great to see you. Oh, I sing, but I would love to play an instrument. Ah, well, I'm glad you said that because one of the classes that we have on sale for Black Friday is called Sing and Play Harp. And I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. And I want to tell you why we do Black Friday, why we slash the prices. I mean, I'm laughing about that because, I feel like we slash our prices. um, why? Because to give people, no matter what your budget is, to give you a chance to get in and try these things. And then if you want to upgrade to the academy, you can actually apply whatever you paid for the class to the academy. So it gives you that opportunity to try it out, see what it's like, see if this is, going to make a difference for you. All right, so what I want to do right now is I want to take you behind the scenes. And just bear with me. I think I can do this. Sometimes this tech is beyond me. And Shazam. Uh, I know that's kind of small, but this is a page. Oh, now I have to find out how to get to it. My friends, this is beyond my capabilities. It's so funny. You'd think if you could play the harp. Oh, what is that? Check that out. All right. So this is celebrating Black Friday with on-demand classes, self-paced classes. And this is the sale. And there's the thing that says, that what you're going to learn from anything that you do with me is you're going to learn more creative confidence, because as you know what you're doing a little bit, as you know the building blocks, as you can get your hands on it, you can feel more confident with it, and you're not always worrying about, like, am I making a mistake, or like, what am I doing? So the very first class, and we put this, I think this is the one that's like 65% off. There might be a couple others. I want everyone to get this class. This is video holiday cards. And what I love about this class is that it teaches you how to actually create a whole, here, let me come out here for a second. Let's see if I can pull myself out. Um, Pull myself up. Yeah. Okay. So what this class does, video holiday greeting cards, it teaches you a structure to create personalized video greeting cards. It's not about doing something perfectly. It is about having a structure to be able to, you know, turn on your video and then go, happy holidays. Auntie Jane, I just wanted to tell you how much I love you. And I wanted to play a single note on my harp to just show you how singular you are to my life. And that note is G. And G, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Happy, happy, happy holidays. This is a very simple structure, but it is a structure. And that structure gives you freedom. And I literally have like a script where you can put in people's names, where you can be as complex as you want, but you don't have to be complex. You could actually, put your harp into angel mode and do it all without having to have any harp like technical skill. You can just, happy holidays. I wanted to sing a song to you. I'm gonna sing it when I see you. Happy, happy holidays. I mean, whatever, like, I'm not even doing anything, but it's the structure of it, and it's the connection, and it's the connection that it allows you to make. So this class, I I we put the price down like 65% because I want everyone to have access to this class and have access to this ability to make connection. The class also shows you how to, do some of the technical stuff. It tells you about the video. It talks to you about lighting, all these things that could get a little confusing. It just lays it all out for you. So I love that class. I love it. I love teaching it to people. I love it when people use it, and I love what they say when they use that class, which is that, someone wrote back to them and just said that they loved the card that they got. The other thing I love about this class is that it's not about creating a perfect thing. It's about using a creative project to connect with people and to develop fluency and confidence in creating something that has spoken word, music, and connection. Because that's the heart of, I mean, for me, that's like why we're doing this, is to have all that connection. So that is what that class is about. So back to the next class, because I just want to tell you a little bit about each one. Lead sheet boot camp. So I don't know if you know what a lead sheet is, but a lead sheet allows you to play music without having to read the notes, more or less. You may want to read the melody, but you get to make up all the rest of it. But you don't have to make it up out of thin air. There are guidelines that you can follow that will make it very, very easy. What I love about this class is that not only does this class have a yeah, what is it called? Basic training. First, it has a basic training where you learn how to do this. I go through it step by step. I tell you, first you psych out the piece, and then you do this, and then you look for this, and then you play this, and then you do that. And you can do it all based on just, what's called the big letters. But what I really love about this class and why it's called Lead Sheet Boot Camp is because then there are dozens and dozens of videos where I take you through the process with a specific piece. Telling you how to do it is great, but doing it with you and holding down the time and moving forward so that you get that sense of fluency. That is what makes this class powerful. And the reason I love to put this on sale at this time of year is that there are so many holiday songs that are part of Lead Sheet Boot Camp, because we've done holiday Lead Sheet Boot Camp so many times and we keep those recordings. So you can actually see a list of many of the songs that are in this Lead Sheet Boot Camp on the info page, and I'll show you that in a second. But I love this class because it gives people a foundation of how to fluently read music in a completely different way that does not require reading every single note. And if you are thinking about going into jazz at all, it is a great first class to take. If you are thinking that you would like to play with other people, it is a great class for that, because the lead sheet keeps you together with others. And if you were thinking of playing in hospice and or in therapeutic situations where you might want to play a song that people request from you, this is also an incredible skill to have. So that's what Lead Sheet Boot Camp is about. All right? That's what you learn. And I love it because it gives you all these foundations to work on. And I also love it because, I wish I had had this when I first started, to go through it over and over and over again, not just learn, but to get to go over it. All right, next class is, hands-on harmony. Music theory, there go my glasses. Music theory is so important. For me, I mean, it's the foundation of what allows me to improvise and kind of get around, get my glasses. And in hands-on harmony, what I wanted to do was to start with a single note like that, and to build harmony up in thirds so you can see how chords are built. You learn first how chords are built. You see them built all the way up. This is a fully extended chord. You learn how to have some voicing so that you can have sevenths. So you learn how to extend the chords starting from a single note. Then you learn how to alter chords. So altering a chord, you have a chord like this. This happens to be a G7. I'm going to flat the 9. I just altered it. I'm going to sharp the 5. Now I've got a flat 9 sharp 5 chord, and yet it is still a dominant G chord. So you will know about that after you take the class. So you learn to extend chords. You learn how to alter them. And you also learn how to substitute chords. So instead of, like, let's say I'm playing, I can also go. So you learn how to substitute chords. You learn all of that. And then you learn how to put the chords together in progressions, like 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, or 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Like that. Those are progressions. So you learn how to put them together. You can put them together and alter them. You can put them together and alter them and extend them. And then you also learn how to modulate to a new key. So starting from a single note, what I love about this class, I love this class. You start from a single note and you build, and then you alter, and then you substitute, and then you put the chords together, and then you modulate them to different keys. But it starts with one note. I mean, I think that's what I love so much about it. And the other thing I love about it is that it's hands-on. So you're doing it. You have things to do. You don't want to learn this. You don't want to put it in your head and then be thinking about it. You want your hands to know it. You want your hands to know that this is the shape of a ninth. And you want to know that if you see something really complex, that you don't have to play it. So you want to learn all of that. Anyway, so that's what hands-on harmony is all about. And I love that you guys are commenting. Okay. Oh, okay, Carrie. Carrie wants to sing. Okay, we're getting to that. Okay. So you're talking about singing. Well done. All right. I'm just moving down the page here. Let's see. All right. So we've talked about the video holiday cards. We've talked about lead sheet boot camp. We've talked about hands-on harmony. Carrie, this one is for you. This next one is called Sing and Play Harp. This is, I know I say this about all the classes, but this is one of my favorite classes for a bunch of reasons. So first of all, I just love the way this class is structured. But when I was a little kid, when I was 7, my mom played the ukulele, and when I was 7, she showed me 3 chords. And those 3 chords, being able to play those 3 chords changed my life. And I'm not joking. This is not hyperbole. It changed my life. I remember learning them. In my mind, as a 7-year-old, I could play every song ever written at this point with these 3 chords. That moment and that experience of freedom is what this class is all about. What I did is I went back to that moment and I was like, okay, how could I create that sense of freedom on the harp? How could I create a structure that would make it so easy that you could play those 3 chords without even looking? How could I make it so simple and so physical that if you changed to another key, all you have to do is play the same, change, put the harp in the new key, and then play the same shapes. So that's how I built this class. Sometimes it's called 3-chord magic. So at first, the class is super, super simple. You're just learning how to play and sing along with that, or you're learning that you don't have to sing and play at the same time. You sing, then you sing, you play and you sing, and you sing. So you learn the skills of not having to play and sing at the same time first, and then you put it together, and then the class teaches you how to make accompaniment patterns. This is one of the things that I love, love, love about this class. It's got this huge warm up that's all about learning accompaniment patterns. And not only do I teach it, but 2 other wonderful harpists go through and play every single one. Sally Wallstrom and Robin Gordon Cartier. They went through and they played every single one of those accompaniments. So this class, again, starts super, super simple. You could learn the technique in 1 hour, I think. It's really simple. But then it teaches you to expand it. It teaches you to then take that thing and learn how to create accompaniment patterns with it. And then one of the things I really love about this class is there's a whole separate section where I say, yes, you could play it simply. You could play that song simply like this. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Or you could, or there are things that you can do. Actually, I teach you some of the substitutions. So you could go, Irene, good night. So you can start you can go from like fundamental, I can do this, because you want to get to that point. You don't want to start, I want you to be able to play and sing and do it so that you can play and sing for yourself and with other people. Once you can do that, then you can start adding other things. That's one of the things that I love about every class that I teach. It's one of the things I love about music. This is beautiful. La la dee da da dum, la do da dum, da 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 dum. It's beautiful. There's nothing missing. And dum da da dum da 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 dum da 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 that's just a different version of it, it's also beautiful. It's beautiful when it's super simple. It's beautiful when it's super slow. And it's beautiful when it's more complicated and faster. It's not better, it's just different. And that's what I love teaching in each of these classes is how to get the fundamentals so you can do it. And then once you can do it, where you can go next. So that's what Sing and Play Harp is all about. All right. So Carrie, are you happy you got that's the singing one? All right. All right, great. So I'm going to go on to the next one. So here we go. I don't even know what it is. What's next on the list? Blueprints for creativity. So Blueprints for Creativity is a really interesting class. It is a little more advanced, but it is an opportunity to learn different frameworks for putting music together. So I started out writing musical theater and playing folk songs, and then started playing jazz, and then I started learning about classical music in school, and I started noticing certain frameworks showing up over and over again. Like there was a framework where you'd have an introduction and you'd have a melody, and then you'd have some kind of exploration. A little more exploration. And come back to the melody. With a little 3-time ending. So that was 5 parts: introduction, melody, exploration, melody, and ending. So I saw that structure over and over and over again, but I saw other structures as well. I saw structures that I learned were called rondo forms, where there would be a melody and then an episode of some fourth. Back to the melody. Another episode. Back to the melody. Another episode, and so on and so forth. So that's a rondo form. But I ended up using that form to build one of my most famous songs, which is called Baroque Flamenco. So you can take these forms and you can do amazing things with them. I mean, this was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but you can build it out. It's like if you knew how to cook. Like if I knew how to cook and I had an egg and I knew what to do with an egg, that's what these blueprints for creativity allow you to do. They allow you to see these blueprints. Now, I think there are 7 blueprints in the class. So there's the 5-part arrangement form, there is the rondo form, there is blues, there is song form, and you learn the nightingale from that song form. And there are 2 others. Oh, there's a really interesting one called motivic improv, where you are learning, where you're playing, where you're building not from sort of an outward framework, but you're taking motifs and working with them. So this class teaches you how to do this. If you're a composer or you're thinking of composing, this is a great class to take. If you want to be improvising music, it's also a great class to take because it gives you so many different ways to play with music. And that's how I discovered all these different forms. Was just like, I want to do something different. Geez, Haydn did that, and Thelonious Monk did it. Okay, then I guess I can do it too. And because I see music in shapes. So this class is all about those shapes. It's a great class for building repertoire, building creative repertoire. If especially if you are a person who loves frameworks, that's what that class is all about. All right. Any questions? I love that you guys are here. Like I was imagining I would be here in the middle of the night and I would be, which I am, and we'll be releasing this again tomorrow when we send out our email. I just wanted to have it recorded, but it's so fun that you guys are here. This is great. All right, so let's go on to the next one. What is the next one? One song, The Nightingale. This is a very interesting class. This was a request from students in the academy in the middle of the pandemic. They wanted to learn how to play my song, The Nightingale, I, which is da da dee da da dee da 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 dee da la da 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 da. Now, it had never occurred to me to teach this song or to take it apart, but because they'd asked for it, I did, and it was really interesting because I discovered so many things that made it so simple. I discovered that there were these two lines. La da dee, la da dee, da da. So there were by breaking it apart, I discovered that there were all kinds of ways to be able to sing it more simply or to play it with other people more simply. I also discovered that a lot of people were having trouble with the interlude of the piece. So I discovered there were ways to simplify that as well and make it so much more playable. So what I love about this class is the access that it gives to the piece so that people who think they can't play it because they can't play the sheet music that you can buy, they realize that they can play this song. Now, here's the thing. Hello, glasses again. Here's the thing. When I say play the song, I mean, it's written on the page. But that is an interpretation. Whereas in fact, this, something very simple, that is also the song. And it is as beautiful. I know I keep saying that because people tend to think that the more complex thing is more beautiful or more true to the composer. But at least with my music, that's not true. What's true to the composer is when you can play it at the level you are at right now, when you discover the heart of the piece, or I show it to you by breaking it down, and you can play it now. You can express yourself now and not like, oh, when I get better. That's, for me, what is true to the music. So it was very meaningful to me to create this class and realize that it gives access to this song to people who would not be able to play the sheet music. And just as beautiful, people who can play the sheet music love this because it breaks it down. You see how it's built. I didn't know I built it that way, but when I broke it down, I started to be like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It does this and it does this and it's so great. Oh wow, this happens. It just makes the piece so much more fun. So that is one song, The Nightingale. It's just one song. That's what you, in many of the other classes, you're learning a fundamental, like in harmony, hands-on harmony, you're learning harmony, so you can apply it to everything. In lead sheet boot camp, you're learning something that will open up access to play many, 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 many different songs. So that you're always getting access to something in the songs. In the classes. In video holiday greeting cards, you're getting access to be able to be self-expressed in a fun, um, whimsical, connective way with other people without having to develop skills that you don't have right now. It's exciting because you are developing skills, but you're also learning how to actually play fluently and with self-expression with the skills you have. And here's why that's so important. If you don't if you don't believe me that this is possible, then you will spend your life trying to get better. And as soon as you are better, you will be looking to get better, and you will never actually play as you are. And you can play as you are in this moment. And who you are as you are is the beautiful thing. So if I can do nothing else but give you access to express who you are in this moment, I, I'm I'm thrilled. And so these classes are to open up access as well to yourself, as well as teaching you the skills and the tools and the fundamentals of music and whatever that particular class is about, whether it's about sing and play, or whether it's about harmony, or whether it's about building a video greeting card, or whether it's about, learning the blueprints, or whether it's about lead sheet boot camp. That it's about you expressing you. All right, going on to the next one. Oh, hip hop toolkit. Oh, this is exciting. We never had this. It hasn't been available as a standalone class since I created it in the very beginning. It went into the academy. It's the foundation of the academy. It is sort of the flagship piece of the academy. This class, um, is it is all the fundament. I thought when I made this class, I was like, this is it. This is all I will ever have to make because it teaches them everything. And it does. It teaches you the fundamentals of how to create arrangements. It teaches you about how to, build expanded chords, open position chords that are really beautiful. It teaches you how to build bass lines. It teaches you how to put it all together. It is the foundational class of the 5-part arrangement form. And with it, you learn so much more. I built this class. This was the one that I built specifically for people who want to play jazz, but don't have the fundamentals of how music works. So you can go from this class, you can do anything with it. You can create meditation music, you can create theater music, you can create jazz, you can do anything with it. But and remember when I told you that the motto is connection, not perfection? I'm I get excited about this stuff sometimes. Um, with this class, you can just build so much repertoire, and you can once you have the foundations of this class, then you can start adding stylistic elements like jazz. There's a class that's not available yet as a standalone class. It's called Inside Jazz Tunes, and it takes the same concepts from Hip Hop Toolkit, but then it starts adding the jazz elements, the jazz style elements. So this class, I'm going to pull it up again because this class, well, it's just like I said, we've never offered it as a standalone, and it's also, I don't know how much it is off. I have to put my glasses on. It's like 35% off right now. So it's a great time to get this class. And another great thing about this class is that when you take this, like, this is true of any of these classes, you have 30 days after you take the class. Within that first 30 days of having the class, you can upgrade and apply 100% of what you paid for the class to upgrade to the year-long academy. So this is like a perfect time to do this because the academy registration will open again in January. So if you get this class, you kind of get started in knowing how it all works. And then if you decide that you want to upgrade and go on, you can. So that's one of the things that I love about this class. I love this class. I love seeing the work that comes out of it, what people create after they take this class. All right, I'm just going to check and see if you all have any questions. Oh, it's in the afternoon in Australia. That's great. Oh, and Carrie says, adore the Nightingale, always sharing it. That's beautiful. So, Carrie, do you play it yet? Because if you don't play it, that would be a great class for you to take. I think you would really enjoy it. Oh, I enjoy it, and the people who've taken it have enjoyed it. And it's so, oh God, it's just so fun to see people kind of have the revelation of like, oh, I didn't realize it was that simple. All right, so we're going to take a look at, I think there's one more. Oh, no, there's two more. Okay, there's two more. So here we go. So the next class that is on sale is Modulation Staircase. Modulation Staircase is really great. I'm going to pull out of here and I want to tell you about it. So I created a set of warm-ups for myself that modulates throughout the harp. I wanted to develop these certain skills and I wanted to be able to modulate. And I was just learning how to, I first did it on the pedal harp. And then when I came to the lever harp, I wanted to learn how to move the levers. And so I used it, but it's hard. So when we went to publish those modulating warm-ups, my legacy project team that helps me publish everything, we looked at it and we're like, oh, we need something that's like a modulation on ramp, like to get people, just to get them familiar with how to do this. And so we built the modulation staircase. I might change it to be called the modulation on ramp because it's this wonderful class where you learn how to, you at first you're just building, you're just modulating from key to key. So you're building a very, very, very simple structure. I think it's something like this. No, not that. Now you're in a new key. And then you do it in the new key. So you learn how to move around your harp, but you do it with a set of real, it's very structured so that you kind of do it before you know you're doing it. The other thing I love about this class is that it teaches something that you've probably all heard of, which is the circle of fifths. It teaches you how to modulate using that circle of fifths. And one of these days, I'll actually bring you into that class so you can kind of see. There's really cool stuff in that class that now I just want to take you in there and show you. But I am not here to do that tonight. Tonight, I am here to just go over each one of them. So this one is really great. If you are, this is an amazing class. If you are transitioning from lever harp to pedal harp or from pedal harp to lever harp, this is an amazing class for that because it will get you comfortable with your levers and your pedals. If you are someone who's kind of nervous about your levers or your pedals, it will get you much, much more comfortable with it. And for people who want to be able to transition between songs and go from one key to another, it will help you do that too. And it's very graded. It's like there's the first version, and then it gets harder, and then it gets harder, and then it gets harder, and it starts adding more and more till you will be ready for the advanced warm-up. So this is a great class. All right. Okay, so I think we have one more. I will share this last one. So, the last class, for the first time, we have never offered this as a standalone class. So, for the very, very first time, we are offering New Blues. So, this is New Blues Beyond the Page. So, this is an opportunity to learn this song. I will play a little bit of it. You learn this song, it's kind of like the one song, The Nightingale, in that you're learning, but this song is. That's the blues. And so what this class teaches you, it teaches you how to play that melody, but then it teaches you how to do each of the variations. It doesn't teach you how to play what's on the page. It teaches you what I was it teaches so in each of the variations in New Blues, I was exploring something different. Like in one of them, I might have been exploring the boogie woogie bass line. So that what I teach you in this class is not to play the exact line that I played. I mean, that is a boogie boogie bass line, but teaches you how to breaks it apart and then teaches you how to improvise with it. So you're not learning. This is really interesting. You're not learning the specific notes of the sheet music, but you are learning how to do the same thing that I did when I wrote those notes of the sheet music. I don't know how to describe it better than that. But the beauty of it is that not only do you have your own version of New Blues, but then you know how to use those techniques. And you can use them in playing other blues, and you can use them in other pieces as well. There's also one more class that's not on the list yet, but we're trying to get it ready to be a standalone class. We're trying to convert it so it can be a standalone class, and that is called Baroque Flamenco Beyond the Page. And that is another great class that takes you into a piece of music that is really complex, simplifies it, and shows you how you can create your own version of it. So I hope that that was helpful to everyone who was here tonight and everyone who watches again. I don't know if I told you this in the beginning, but if you are watching this replay on Facebook or on Instagram and you write harp into the comments, that's HARP, we will immediately send you, oh, that's what did I pull this up? I'll pull this up again. And we will DM you information on how to get to the sale page. But I'm also going to pull up this QR code so that you can click on that as well. And if you have any questions, I think there's a link on that page to my Ask a Question form. But you can always go to hipharp.com/ask. And hip harp is hip as in cool, harp as in the instrument, .com/ask. And that's the easiest way to ask questions, that they will get to me and they will get to my team, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. So thank you so much for being with me here tonight. It was really fun to jump on at the end of Thanksgiving and get to just go through everything that's part of this Black Friday sale. And let me come back to you guys' comments just to see if there's any others. All right. Oh, she did it. Oh, great. So, but however, Carrie, it won't work until the replay is up. So I'm sorry about that. It's the way the internet is working. So, but you can go to the QR code or just go to hipharp.com/classes. I'm going to see if I can type it. This will be cool. I don't know if this works. Let me just try HTTPS. Let's see. Let me know if this works. Oops, .com/classes. Okay. Do you see that? I put the URL in the chat. I'm curious if you guys can see it, because I don't know what this goes out to. A bunch of different channels. It goes out to YouTube. It goes out to Facebook. Sometimes it goes out to LinkedIn, and I don't know if what I type goes back out to you guys. But hopefully, as soon as the replay is up, my assistant can link to it and link that up. So on Facebook and Instagram only will that work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was really fun to get to spend some time with you. I hope that this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in these classes. Now go forth and harp. Whoa! Go forth and harp on the good things.